Till 1969, every Monday morning was market day in Sittingbourne, and it made quite a spectacle for me when I was small, but I must admit I rather took it for granted as I grew older.
I can remember visiting the cattle market on Monday mornings in the 1950s, often carried here on my granddad's shoulders from his house in William Street. I was brought here because I liked to see the animals, especially the young animals, piglets, calves, lambs and so on, which could be stroked or patted through the bars. Don't do this at home, children.
The market stood here between the bull ground and football ground on one side, and on the other side what were meadows and became playing fields behind Brenchley House on the other side.
Looking at a satellite image of the area, you can see the High Street at the top in yellow and the Avenue of Remembrance along the bottom in green. Sainsbury's is in the centre in yellow and the Swallows to the left in red. The Bull Inn sits at the entrance to what is now Roman Square. Between them is the area where the livestock market was held. If we superimpose the 1925 map, you can see that the market lay next to the old football ground, the Bull Ground, with a path running along the western edge.
This is roughly where the path ran down the western side of the market.
I have memories of the noise and the bustle, the cows in pens right along the footpath here, and the manure everywhere, and the huge matte red weighing machine as big as a house. Bear in mind that I was probably no more than 5 years old. This metal apparatus had a round dial above it, 4 feet in diameter, in my memory, so that the weight of the livestock contained within its bars could be seen by all. As a small boy, I would be delighted if one of the cows or a bull did something in a huge brown or yellow stream out across the railings and pathway.
Today, Roman Square occupies land which was the Bull Yard.
The office block, called Roman House, stands at the northern end of the market site, with a car park and access roads filling the remainder of the site. In the 19th century, the Bull Inn and its yard, with the meadow behind it, was already a well-established gathering place for Sittingbourne's agricultural community. There used to be a plaque here that said that the bull had been here for at least 400 years. The rebuilt Bull Inn is still here as a Mexican restaurant, but I can't find the plaque today. In the late 18th century, the Tong family owned the Bull Inn. They were grocers, maltsters and brewers, and were amongst the most substantial businessmen and property owners in the town at that time. The meadow at the back was owned by Thomas Chittenden, a butcher. He had acquired it from the Tildens of Milstead, who had in turn acquired it from the earliest recorded owners, the Adys, spelt A-D-Y-E, of Down Court in Doddington. There, on Mondays, generations of local farmers, dealers and butchers met for the stock market, a free-for-all where sellers and buyers haggled with each other over the sale of live and dead stock. The corn market was held here in the Bull itself on Wednesdays, and then in the latter half of the century on Fridays until 1859, when a building built for the purpose was opened further up the High Street. Instead of simple haggling, the auction sales, which a farming and auctioneering firm called Collard and Prentice may have initiated, had brought order to the process. By pitting several buyers against each other, rather than merely haggling one-to-one, a better price could often be achieved. The auctioneer took a commission on the sale price, the business thrived, and disorderly haggling died out. We know that after completing his training around 1885, Francis Benstead, who was from Doddington and related to the Collards, was offered a position with Collard and Prentice, who had an operation in Sittingbourne. We also know that within a few years, though still in his 20s, Benstead struck out on his own, reconstituting and raising the status of the livestock market in Sittingbourne, with himself as the sole auctioneer. Austin's three sons, Arthur, Frank and John, played their part in the firm, and as the years passed, the family acquired substantial land holdings. In 1892, building on the long-established practice of Tuesday markets and pre-empting them, he initiated his own auction sales on the day prior, alternate Mondays, at 11:30 a.m. It was common practice for the butchers of the town to do their own slaughtering and to hold livestock on small pastures behind their shops. A butcher would buy his livestock, sheep or pigs or cows, at the market and sometimes herd them through the street to their own premises. At any one time there would have been several butchers like this in our shopping streets, like the Millans at numbers 87 to 91 High Street, where Central Avenue is now, or Boulding at number 4, or Bonnie at number 53, and so on. My mum was at school in the town in the 1930s, and she remembered having to shelter in shop doorways in the event that a cow or pig broke free whilst in transit.
On the 27th of January 1969, the stock auction ceased. The land was developed, and as you see, Roman Square was built. So that chapter of Sittingbourne's history was closed.
If you have found this video interesting, please subscribe to our YouTube channel or visit our website.